eating disorder, I already had the discipline around food and exercise. So it was a lifestyle that immediately just clicked for me, and it helped me make that switch from, instead of wanting me to, let's say, bring my body down, to actually actively try and build it back up. So bodybuilding is something that saved me, if you want, from my eating disorder, and I fell in love with it immediately. I saw my potential immediately. I hired a coach, and I just got started. And the more I evolved into the sport, the more I realized it was the perfect fit for me.
Yeah, like I think I've talked lately is that bodybuilding needed together because of they were athletic, like you said, you were athletic when you were younger, and also dealing with eating disorders, so like bulimia and and being anorexic. I mean, bodybuilding people look at the sport because it's very extreme, and it's
Yeah.
really a sport that really, if you have to have a passion for it, and you're from Cyprus, and that's a very small island in the Mediterranean, right?
Correct.
That's a good question. How did bodybuilding come to some place like that? Because I know you're one of two now female bodybuilders from Cyprus.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually quite a lot of good athletes. It's just that you don't see them going overseas much. And also, I think it has to do with the culture. Bodybuilding is pretty much looked down on over here. Like you said, it's considered an extreme sport, like something unhealthy. Even so, even more so for females, it's something very rare. And especially females don't really want to get bulky, if you want. They believe that if they, train a little bit too hard, they're gonna wake up like Ronnie Coleman the next day, and it obviously doesn't work that way.
No.
But there's very few females that aspire to have a muscular physique here. But there's a lot of good male athletes. It's just a pity that we obviously don't have any NPC shows in Cyprus. There's only other federations, and a lot of athletes compete in them. So actually, this was the Romania Muscle Fest was the first time where a Cypriot federation was actually sponsoring athletes to compete to the NPC, and that's why I took the opportunity to go to that show as well. So hopefully, there's a lot of uh, hope for the future of bodybuilding in Cyprus, and I'd love to be a part of that.
Well, I hope you and your lady Marina come together. Maybe y'all can bring something together. And what was the federation that you were under before you get into the NPC?
Well, there's various. My very very first competition, which was like in 2022, that was IFBB Elite. And then I did a couple of shows on the NPC at the beginning of the summer in July, and then the federation that sponsored us to go to the Romania Muscle Fest was WABA Cyprus.
Oh, what about WABBA? Yeah, I heard of them. They've been around. WABA, NBA. There's quite a few organizations outside of the NBC and IFB. And that's been around for a long time. It's very, very popular in Europe. A lot of competitors,
Mhm.
even Alina, I think Alina Popa, she started in one of those federations before she came over to IFB and APC. This is from a man, KL the Wonder. Shot here, and he says, good morning. And also, he says, he also says, congratulations on getting your pro card. What are your plans now? So, what the plans now that you're now a IFBB pro?
Oh, thank you, thank you. To be honest, the fact that I turned pro didn't change anything to my plans. My coach and I already had my post-show plans set out even before the competition, regardless of the results, and that's kind of the mindset that I have. And I've spoken about it on my stories on Instagram as well. Nothing has changed for me. Apart that I'm happier and more satisfied, and I feel a little bit accomplished. Nothing has changed for me. The goal is the same. The goal is to keep improving. I mean, even if I hadn't gained my pro card, then I would be working hard to improve. Now that I've won my pro card, I am working harder to improve. The goal is the same: get bigger, get better, improve, refine my physique, and just keep evolving in the sport. However, being a pro now, I also have a little bit more responsibility as to setting an example for, the other athletes who aspire to be a pro. So, what I like to say is being a pro is not just about having a pro worthy physique, because I think there's lots of athletes out there that have a pro worthy physique and they just don't have their pro card yet. It's about having a pro level mindset about bodybuilding, and kind of it's the mindset that you want to try and pass on to the other athletes, because we keep saying bodybuilding is an extreme sport, bodybuilding is unhealthy. We made it look that way. And it's up to us if we want to improve kind of how people on the outside see the sport and see us as bodybuilding athletes, and remove the stigma around it. So I feel like I have the responsibility to kind of show the other people how to do bodybuilding properly, and also how to be a good pro, personality wise, because I think most pros, they get a little bit of a superiority complex, and they think, just because they got a plastic piece of carton like you can see in the back, that gives them the power to kind of dictate what people have to do. And it doesn't make you better than anyone else. It just means that on one day, specific day, you were lucky enough to be better than, the other 20 or whatever, how many athletes that were on stage. It doesn't make you any better than them. You were just better on that day. So if you want to keep being pro worthy, you're going to have to keep working, and you're going to have to keep proving that you are worthy of that card on a daily basis.
Yeah, because you know what, a lot of people don't know bodybuilding that much. I've been following bodybuilding like just folks, as you know, last week was my 50th birthday, and I've been following sport for nearly 40 years, and and I've been a fan of guys like the Arnold Schwarzenegger era and the guy to Lee Haney, and then as I got older and I got to my pubescent ages, y'all women, y'all kind of cite me. And from my interviews, my discussion, yeah, people don't know much about bodybuilding. They like I say, it's extreme. And instead again about the thing about the bulking thing, like some women, like I said again, yeah, it's true. Like some women say, if I lift 10 pounds, I'm gonna be looking like Jay Cutler. No, you're not. Because you know what? There's a lot more to it that's involved into it. We have some comments. My man, my man, okay, he says, would you want to get super bulky? So, and I think, like I said, you earned your pro card in figure, but you also were doing physique. Which do you feel fits you, especially with your size?
Well, yes, I won my pro card in figure, and I went to the overall women's physique and got second place. I missed it by one place. Um, it's a difficult question. My heart lies in women's physique. So figure was never a division that I chose because I liked it. It was a division that I chose because we felt that, I fit the criteria. But even before, from the very beginning, my dream was women's physique. But obviously, I was very small in size, so we knew that it was an ambitious goal. So the idea was to start with figure, and then, kind of outgrow figure and go into women's physique. As I came into this competition season, my coach and I decided to try both, just because we wanted to see also the coaches' feedback and see where they like me best, and just for me to get the stage experience. So it's not that I don't like figure. However, I struggle a lot with heels, and because I have a congenital leg problem that makes it very difficult for me to walk, or even stand. I don't even mention pose in heels. So there's a lot of limitation for me there as far as stage presentation goes. I've worked on it a lot, so I don't think a lot of people noticed it on stage. Obviously, the judges didn't, because otherwise I wouldn't have won. But it's something that, makes me enjoy my time on stage a lot less. Whereas in women's physique, when I'm barefoot, I enjoy my time on stage a lot. Size wise, we know I'm still small for women's physique. Obviously, I had enough size for me to go to the overall, and conditioning is my strong point. I get lean very easily, and I wasn't even at my leanest at the show because we didn't want to be too hard or too dry as to lose the figure criteria, because we knew that in figure I had greater chances of getting the card. Um, but the judges' feedback kind of co-aligns with what we already knew. I have the right shape, conditioning is on point. I just need more size overall. So if I'm able to bring the same package but just bigger, I would have a lot of potential in women's physique. So that is the goal. However, for now we're just focusing on growing. We're not gonna limit myself to the figure criteria, because, for example, if I had decided to stay in figure, there were areas where I would probably have to limit my growth. The only area where I could maybe grow a little bit more is maybe legs, maybe a little bit of shoulders. But my back is already pretty well developed, and you don't really need big arms in figure. So I would have to limit my training in those areas and focus more on legs. Whereas with women's physique, I can grow everywhere, and that's what I want. For me, yes, for the question, do you want to get super bulky? I want to get big. Yes, I don't want to go, to the other extreme. I don't aspire to go into women's bodybuilding one day. No, I don't want to get that big. But I would say another, good 20 pounds of muscle, that would be a nice goal for me. But slowly and surely, I'm not looking to compete for another 2 years or so until I'm ready. And for now, we'll just grow. And when the time comes to start a prep, we're gonna reassess my physique and see which criteria I fit best. If I'm not ready yet for women's physique, then I'll do my pro debut in figure. And if we feel that I'm ready for women's physique, I'll do my pro debut in women's physique. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, because this is what I learned from my discussions, that bodybuilding is not like a race; it's a marathon, and it's a
Exactly.
process. It takes time to grow and develop. You just can't boom. Like I said, you only been competing for how long? Like 2, 3 years.
This was actually my first competition year, so 1 year.
One. Wow, you're a phenom. I mean, that's yeah, I know a couple. There's one lady I know who I follow. Her name is Hunter Henderson. If you ever heard of her, she turned pro within a year. Got and then did her pro debut. Took me second to Mona Persilay at the 2021 Tampa Bay Pro. She took some years off, like took 2, 3 years, came back, did a couple of shows, and finally got Olympic qualification. And she's young. I mean, I think she's not even. She just turned 29 a week or so ago. So that's the thing. It's about growth and potential. Here we got a comment from my man Stefan. Praise shout to Stefan, says congratulations on your pro card. Also, my man
Thank you.
KL had promises. Where is Cyprus in Europe? So you know,
Basically, if you know where Greece is, it's an island right below Greece.
yeah, so it's right there between Greece, is a little away from Turkey, because
Yeah,
we did a little research before I started because I wanted to be a little bit knowledgeable. And yeah, Greece has always had a history about athleticism, because that's where the Olympics started.
hmm
And with y'all ladies, especially in bodybuilding, it's a different look compared to the norm of what people consider women. The muscle, the strength, the size, the conditioning, especially in both between physique and women's bodybuilding. That's why you see so many competitors cross over every now and then. Like, is anybody that's competing now that you follow, that you really see that inspires you?
honestly, all of them, I have. There's definitely, it's a difficult question because I have so many athletes that I respect, honestly. Even the new pros, even the girls that I competed with, 2 weeks ago, I have a lot of them who aspire me. Definitely Manon Dutili, my coach's wife, who recently also transitioned to women's PD. Definitely mindset wise, training wise, work ethic, and also just her physique. but I'm someone who's more attracted to an athlete's mindset and kind of their work ethic rather than what they look like, because there's a lot of athletes that have really impressive physiques but really ugly personalities, and that's just not something that I respect, for example.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've met some people that I've been in contact with, and we're still good friends. Other people that, just, I'm the type of person. If you like, excuse my language, man, if you have a shitty personality, I don't want to be around you. I don't need that stuff. And you mentioned your coach is the husband of Manon Dolidi, and Manon, she has an amazing body. I mean,
Exactly.
I felt like she needed to move to physique. I know she did pretty good as a figure competitor for a while, but her condition is just wild. I mean, and this woman did at least 7 shows 1 year. What? I mean, that's tough, especially you're switching, you're doing figure and then doing physique. I mean, that is tough. How long have you been with the coach, and how well y'all know? How long have you been together, you and your coach?
Actually 1 year now, because like I hired him November, yeah, last November, so it's been 1 year that we've been working together. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, you're a phenom. I mean, just boom, got your pro card. I mean, you did these shows, and and especially, there's a lot of work to the sport. People understand. Here we
Yeah.
got a comment from a man KL. He has to ask you. He says, "Would you like to move from Cyprus since there are not enough women's bodybuilders? So would you consider, because there's so few women bodybuilding in your area, we want to move someplace where there's more numbers where you can really be part of a community."
It's funny that you ask, because I already have plans on moving, but it has nothing to do for bodybuilding. Apart from bodybuilding, I'm also a doctor. So I'm currently interviewing for my residency positions in the US. So by this summer, I will be moving to the US for work to continue my training as a doctor. But obviously, that's gonna benefit a lot my bodybuilding career. So yes, I will be moving to the US, and I know that for bodybuilding, that's gonna be a huge upgrade.